We got one of the greatest battles on Theta here between Zock and Brainsteel. We saw how great the fight was between Brainsteel and Rock, where Brainsteel won. This one he gets to take on Zock, so UEF versus Aeon for Zock. Both players going 2P gens, Mask Extractor, going to the Hydro. So very similar. We'll see what comes out of those factories. So Zock currently probably the best 1v1 player in Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. See NG coming out. First two NGs for Brainsteel. First two NGs for Zock. See the plan, some manual reclaiming for Brainsteel. Zock going with a patrol. We do see some flares coming out for Zock now. So I'm going to do some raiding. See flares going both. Possible expansion points for Brainsteel. He does have an expanding NG that's going to be protected by a tank and a mech marine. We do see some scouts for Zock, looking for any raiders from Brainsteel, and Brainsteel has not sent any raiders. Appears that we're going to see second air from Brainsteel. We see second ground from Zock. Both players using the ACU to build the second factory, and now we see this flare that Zock has sent after this NG has been killed off by the what's his tank, M1 MA12 Striker. And another flare here is taken out. So really good defensive work from Brainsteel, protecting both of his expanding NGs. I see some Auroras coming out for Zock. This is Aeon, and it has pretty big advantage. See actually third factory from Zock being air. Brainsteel has paused both of his factories. It looks like he's going very early T2 air. This is very amazing to see at minute 3 on Theta. A factory going T2 air. We actually see that Zock is doing the exact same thing. This is very unusual. Now we see the flare fight here. This tank from Brainsteel doing some pretty crazy micros, taking out an NG from Zock. So in terms of early ground units, it looks like Zock has quite a few more. Now both ACUs, minute 5 meeting up in the middle. If we look at minute 5, reclamation only 500 for Zock. Brainsteel has 900. That must have been a little bit of that manual reclaim. We see a wall being built by Brainsteel in the middle. He's got a PD plus a wall across. Interesting positioning on that wall. You might see a little raiding. Zock is definitely thinking about it through this bottom channel. And now Zock pushing his ACU. You see retreating from Brainsteel, and actually a PD being built by Brainsteel here by an NG in this point. So it appears that Brainsteel might be giving up quite a bit of map control to Zock. We see a T2 bomber coming out from Brainsteel. However, it almost kills this Hydra in one pass, but it gets killed by the Swift ones. So really unfortunate for Brainsteel. He rushed a T2 air minute 6. T2 air ready to defend for Zock, and Aeon has much better T2 air in terms of air-to-air combat. So those Swift ones are going to dominate. We see a gunship from Brainsteel going after Zock, but of course that gunship will be shut down by the Swift ones. See some T1 air coming out for Brainsteel, try to counter the Swift ones, but it's going to be very difficult. See 2 kills for one, 2 kills for the other, and now a gunship from a Zock. So Brainsteel might be in a little bit of trouble here. He doesn't have to, he does have a ground army. He's going to come in for support, but still this gunship, no counter to this gunship from Brainsteel. He's got a single T1 flag here. Zock getting a few kills on those tanks, 5 kills for the ACU, Brainsteel at 12. Absolutely no action through the other 2 channels here. All the action around the ACUs. We see the wall being constructed by Brainsteel, got it terminated quite early here. Seems to be it'll be complete, so no passage here unless you want to go through this PD. However, this PD was almost destroyed by the gunship. We see another gunship coming out from Zock. Can be a lot of rating from those gunships. We do see basically a T1 interceptor spam from UAF. That's really the only thing they can do until T3 against Swiftwinds. Just numbers of T1. Zock also going with a few more Swiftwinds, so he wants to establish nice air control. He already has 3 of them. 7 kills on one of these Swiftwinds and a gunship from Zock. Brain steel at 5,000 health. We see another air fight. The gunship gets taken out by brain steel, but Zock will re-establish air control with those Swiftwinds. So all build capacity for brain steel is into those interceptors. He is going to attempt to take on a T2 air with T1, but might not be the best idea. We see a actually air staging facility for Zock to repair and refuel his planes. See a gunship, T2 gunship from brain steel doing some raiding, but it'll be a very short-lived gunship. 0 kills for the gunship at the point when it's killed. And now we see some RD coming in from Zock. So definitely map control early on is all Zock. You see brain steel's ACU just got an upgrade. It looks like he just got T2. So a little more health and a little faster regeneration of health. And we see brain steel getting another upgrade, most likely the gun. So if you get T2 first, the gun you'll get pretty quick. We see brain steel has paused all of his other production so he can get this upgrade. So was about to lose a lot of health to this RD, but now with the gun he can outrange both RD and the Auroras. T2 gunship's still a problem. Now brain steel at 30 kills is going to push really hard against this army. Zock does his ACU here, but absolutely no upgrades on it. 9,000 health for Zock, brain steel at 10,000, and a lot more firepower, so Zock should really be careful. Although these T2 gunships might be a big problem, we see a lot of T1 flak from brain steel to try to counter this T2 air from Zock. So in these first 12 minutes we definitely saw it. T2 air for Aeon is very dominant versus UEF. For the most part all these units are flak for brain steel. His ACU now at 53 kills is pushing up. We see remnants of brain steel's wall was reclaimed by Zock's NG. And Zock definitely has numbers. He is getting shot by the ACU now. 56 kills, 57 for brain steel, and now 62 kills. Some overcharging. So basically a massacre. Now we see multiple gunships again from Zock trying to kill brain steel's ACU, but now we see flak moving in trying to counter. Interesting that Zock has not used mercies. Mercies would be very effective now. Still interceptors being built by brain steel. Brain steel having to retreat, going down to 8,000 health, 99 kills. He needs one more kill to get some health. He's going to go pretty low. So no counter, total air domination with the Swiftwinds. 3,000 health, multiple gunships, 4 gunships firing at the brain steel's ACU. He takes out a mass extractor from Zock, gets 1,000 kills and gets an extra 6,000 health on his ACU. So that really did save him at this point. We see a T2 ground coming out for brain steel, a shield plus T2 flak, so brain steel gets into the shield when he was already at 800 health. So nice save, and now it's T2 flak coming out for brain steel. So very close calls for brain steel here. And this T2 flak chases the gunships away. Zock being very protective saves 2 of his gunships. Brain steel, you can see with T2 engineering and 1,000 kills, the UEF ACU recovers health at 55 units per second. So he's going to get his health back very quick. He's going to keep on pushing forward. If we look at reclamation numbers, brain steel has 3,000, Zock 2,500, so pretty close. Although there's a lot of dead units now for brain steel to get, so he can supplement his economy. Zock has had map control most of the game. He does have 3 T2 mass extractors. We don't see any T2 mass extractors for brain steel, so once again we see a nice gunship squadron here, but it will be a suicide mission for those gunships against all that T2 flak. We also see some Mongoose coming out for Brainsteel, excellent units against Auroras. We do not see any T2 ground for Zock at this point. And these Mongoose plus with shields are going to outrange the Auroras, of course. For whatever reason, Brainsteel is pushing really hard with those Mongoose in range of those Auroras. A few of them die. 164 kills for Brainsteel ACU at this stage of the game. See some more gunships being produced by Zock. But now it looks like Brainsteel is going to take over the middle, kill off a couple of factories from Zock, and going to get T2PD. We do see T2PD being built by an NG coming out of this air factory for Zock, so we're going to see a T2PD exchange in the middle. Zock is getting an upgrade in the middle. Might be in range of this PD. Bad place to upgrade your ACU. And we see some raiding Mongoose from Brainsteel now. There is a T1 PD that was built by Zock. It is preventing the easy raiding, 3 kills for that PD. But multiple Mongoose are going to take out all these mass extractors from Zock. And now multiple T2 PDs from Brainsteel. Looks like a single T2 PD for Zock is getting a few more. And now push of a bunch of Auroras into Brainsteel's ACU. Very much suicide for all these Auroras. 19 kills, 12 kills for these two T2 PDs. 185 for the ACU, and now we see T2 PDs from Zock are able to hit Brainsteel. And it's the T2 PD exchange here. Brainsteel might consider retreating. He's beginning to build a shield, and now he gets a few of his mobile shields back. It's going to get him a little time. A T2 shield being built by Zock. A nice raiding from Zock. And now NGs are going to capitalize on the situation. We do see T3. We saw a lot of things happening here. Looks like Zock lost 3 mass extractors, but now we see Titans coming out for Brainsteel. It's going to be a nice counterattack on some NGs that are going to try to take care of the situation and get those mass spots back. However, gunships have free reign here. Absolutely no flak or air in this position of the map for Brainsteel. Now these Titans are running away. Actually, one Titan died against the T2 gunship, and all these Auroras are shifted back away from the middle point. We still see this T2 PD exchange. Both players have T2 shields. And now raiding gunships from Zock going after Brainsteel's eco, taking out mass extractors, although Brainsteel did get a whole bunch of new mass extractors from him. So we see some T2 flak coming out for Brainsteel. I want to take out these T2 gunships. T2 gunships are beginning to retreat. Appears to be a stalemate in the middle for Brainsteel. Now Brainsteel's shield actually went down. We see 5 T2 PD for Zock versus actually Brainsteel just lost all of his PD, so the T2 PD fight is won by Zock in the middle. So that's another victory for Zock. He did allow Brainsteel to make a nice comeback, and Brainsteel still has T3 ground, which will be a problem. Brainsteel is retreating out of the middle spot, so Zock will push forward, get the spoils of this battle. Not surprisingly, air still belongs to Zock. And now we might see T3 versus T1 on the ground. But this T1 is supported by gunships. The T3 retreats to the flak. And now once they get the flak, they're going to push against these Auroras, and this will be a massacre. You see absolutely no chance. It's a single flak. Chases away the T2 gunships, and Brainsteel is going to recover the bottom portion of the map. We see counters from Zock. He's going to get those freshly made mass extractors from Brainsteel. Now Zock pushing to the middle. He does have the upgrades, gun upgrades on his ACU. Brainsteel once again harassed by T2 gunships. 188 kills for Brainsteel's ACU. And this T3 force from Brainsteel runs into a T1 PD, which they take care of very easily. So now Zock begins losing mass extractors on the right side of the map. Some T2 flag following this T3 force, something that's very necessary against Zock in this game. See 3 mass extractors lost by Zock. Now Zock is moving in against this T3 force. He does have 2 different gun upgrades on this ACU, both rate and range. Plus he can overcharge these units, so this T3 force is going to retreat. Elsewhere we see some T1 raiding from Zock. Zock has recovered the top portion of the map. See a single Titan's going in against a bunch of Auroras. That's going to be a massacre, and followed by a bunch of T2 flag just in case gunships are involved. And gunships are still doing very nice raiding for Zock. Looks like the top portion of the map is going to be lost for Zock again to this single Titan, 11 kills. See a shield for Zock around his ACU that chases away his T3 army from Brainsteel. 12 kills in the raiding Titan, supported by Flak. Actually forgot to kill the mass extractor. T2 PD in the middle of the map for Zock. Takes a shot at these T3 units, but they get out in time. So now the map does seem to be cut in half. You're going to see some NG action. NG from Zock captured a mass point, but Brainsteel is going to reclaim that NG, but then the NG gets killed. Zock is pushing forward with his ACU. Now Brainsteel's ACU is going to push through this middle channel, most likely supported by this nice T3 force, multiple shields, plus 8 Titans, and more Titans on its way. T1 ground at this point is very useless. So a single Titan here at this back door trying to keep the Auroras from walking through. Now a single Titan keeping track of this top ledge. Brainsteel 193 kills. See gunships thinking about doing something to this T3 force. However, we do see flak in the area. Zock is going to move and see if he can prevent this T3 push from Brainsteel. A lot more shields for Brainsteel. See T3 power here from a T2 power from Zock. It's a very vulnerable unit. More T2 PD being built. So multiple T2 PD in the area, and now Zock is getting hit by this T3 very hard. So at minute 28, Zock is defeated.